326 miles stood in between.
In these streets, things ain't always what they seem. In these streets, they be watching plotting G. In these streets, you can't trust nobody you see. In these streets, things ain't always what they seem. In these streets, they be watching plotting G. In these streets, you can't trust nobody you see. In these streets, 326 miles, 4 hours and 52 minutes. Pay attention and listen. Only at 18 your sentence. Rest in peace. It's sad you see. Far from your friends and family. These streets, they seem cool running around, trying to stack your bread up, but then it takes a sharp turn from love to a setup. People in disguise got you hypnotized with irrelevant lies. Promises going goodbye. Two different worlds, they collide. One escaping charges and the other one say goodbye. Revenge is what the low life wanted it to be. Crippin' and rolling down the street, bullets released, demons set free. While she stood there in disbelief, love is what it was paid to be. While the family had no recollection of your memory, you was just the scapegoat to that motherfucker sick fantasy. You was brought back to Austin to escape that sucker's misery. 326 miles stood in between June 16, 2007 became reality. The last anyone heard you breathe. 326 miles stood in between. I only wish I coulda never ever woulda let you leave. Everyone they scared to be, staying snitches get stitches, but they was blind to realize that you was just his scapegoat. But nope, he couldn't cope. He should've been the one to go. 326 miles on June 16th. Now you gone and he sits there in the penitentiary. Give a low life 18 while Abigail no longer is here to breathe. They credit people that shouldn't even be there to set free. 5,475 days was the last time you been seen. Man, rest in peace, Abigail Estrada. You know what I'm saying? Much love for your bro Dream. In these streets, things ain't always what they seem. In these streets, they be watching plotting G. In these streets, you can't trust nobody you see. In these streets, things ain't always what they seem. In these streets, they be watching plotting G. In these streets, you can't trust nobody you see. In these streets.
17 years ago, our life changed. 17 years ago, remember putting down flowers on a palm tree. 17 years ago, they had to call your father in the penitentiary. 17 years ago, I took a trip down to the valley. 17 years ago, I remember you telling me that you love me. 17 years ago, you still mean something to me, 'cause we are forever family. Dear loves you, Abigail, and we all miss you very much. Rest in peace, baby girl.